the fact that the tropics are phosphorus limited, and that's every textbook ever written on tropical forests talks about the forests being phosphorus limited. Well, here over in Gigante, the other side of BCI, they've actually gone out and thrown phosphorus onto the ground in the forest for 20 years, I believe, and just over 20 years, and they've been monitoring plant growth in response to this increased phosphorus availability. And what they're seeing is actually very limited increases and changes in biomass accumulation there. They're actually seeing that it's not necessarily one nutrient that limits growth, but a suite of nutrients that limit different aspects of growth. And so there's the potential that things like potassium are very important for reproductive structures, things like flowers and seeds. And then there's the possibility that phosphorus and nitrogen work in co-limitation in certain situations. So there's now this belief, or a notion of co-limitation. And so with the CO2 fertilization, yes, in certain circumstances where you make everything else available, the water is freely available, nutrients are freely available, light's freely available, then increasing the CO2 will result in more biomass. But in a forest, it's unlikely that everything else is perfect. And so the chances of this CO2 increase that we perhaps see in the greenhouse is necessarily translated directly to that. But we need to understand how these components work and interact before we can scale up to the whole forest.